Hey, Cowboy Nation, this is Cowboys Bro. Let's get into some football talk. Let's talk some Cowboys. What I want to talk to you about today, I want to talk to you about contracts. No, not the ones you think, not the ones you're thinking of, not the ones on top of everybody's mind. Zeke and Dak, everybody talking about it. Hell, enough's enough. It'll get done. It'll get done. It'll get done at some point in time. What won't? Let's move on and talk about more or less other players might be impacted by um, Zeke and Dak Coop, and all like that. Let's see who's impacted by that. I want to talk about some other contracts that's coming. There's other contracts coming up. Some other guys we got to pay. You always hear these conversations about we can't really afford to do that. We got other players to pay. We got a whole team. We got a whole team. We got to play. We really don't have money. We got to spread the love around and all those kind of things. But let's look at once we get past this season, let's look at where we at and who's on the roster. Who's on the roster that need contracts or want contracts, or desire contracts that may or may not be getting additional contracts. So let's just look at that real quick. What I'll pull up here is I'll pull up the 2020 free agency roster for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, simple way you can find this information for yourself is simply do a Google search. Do a Google search for Dallas Cowboys free agents 2020, and that'll bring up a couple of websites that you can utilize to track the free agents for yourself. Now, a couple of them that I like to use, the same ones I like to use for salaries, which are overthecap.com, which is the page I'm on right now, and the other one is spottrack.com. Between those two, you typically get reliable information that can be trusted. That pretty much breaks it down for you by the numbers, and who's coming, who's going, who's getting what. And Spot Track even goes Spot Track goes a step further and gives you what they call a market value for a player. For example, Amari Cooper. They have Market Cooper current market value at $17.2 million. So they kind of gives you a projected what he might go for and what his value might be. Another example of that is Randall Cobb, whose projected value is $7.9 million. So Spot Track does a real good job of covering salaries. The reason I'm on overcap.com today is because I like the way they have one particular feature on this particular page that I like quite a bit, which is this column right here. The snaps column. What percentage of the snaps does the player play? So it kind of tells you what the player's value might be to the team based on the number of snaps you get, how much he contributes to the team. And you got to know that you let that player go. How you going to replace that production? So, for example, Joe Looney gets 100%. Got 100% of the snaps last season, and you go down the list, and you look at Malik Collins, who got 48%. 48%. That's nearly 50% of the snaps. But the thing about it is, it's Malik Collins. Malik Collins was on his rookie deal. And he's making $887,000. Well, for Malik Collins today, that's just not going to get it done. He's earned himself a player raise. Malik Collins, a player of his talents, is probably going to come in the range of about $10 million. And we may or may not be able to keep Malik Collins. The same can be said about La'el Collins. La'el Collins' Right now, we recently gave him an extension to where he's making a little bit more money right now. We gave him a pay raise, so he's not on a rookie deal, but certainly on a deal that's probably below his value point at this point in time. Currently making $9,500. You know, Larry Collins is probably going to come in the range of $12 or $13 million, and we made $12 or $13 million, maybe 14, and we may or may not be able to afford that. Just food for thought. Now we get into it. Now that's the obvious guys that people kind of talked about just a little bit, which is Byron Jones. Byron Jones. Currently, Byron Jones is number one rated cornerback in the league, a Pro Bowler, and he's on a rookie deal. I think he's on this is his fifth year option, and this is his fifth year. And so Byron Jones is bringing in a little bit of money, about $7,000. But for the number one rated cornerback in the league, Byron Jones is probably going to be at a value point of probably about $15, maybe $16 million. So that is a concern, that when you start writing $2 million, $15 million checks, $10 million checks, to go along with other checks that's already being written, like you writing Tyron Smith a check already. You might be writing Zach Martin a check already. You writing quite a bit of big checks already. And here we are. We're getting ready to write, possibly, write Dak Prescott a big check, somewhere in the range between 30 and $35 million, most likely. We're going to write him a check for that amount. I think if we start going over 35 million and start getting into start going toward $40 million, I think we have to probably look at our options, and may have to let that play out the season, franchise him for next year, and then go get us a QB. Now, what makes that whole argument, or make that a plausible course of action, although I want to see that get paid. I want to see that get paid. I think he's the guy. I don't think he's a $40 million guy. What makes it a plausible option that we may just, if we can't work out the numbers and details and get him under 35, is letting him play out his year and franchise him for the next. What makes it plausible is looking at this list. Looking at this list of free agents. If you look at the list of free agents, the Dallas Cowboys got 2 pages of free agents. Basically about 30 plus free agents. Right now we got about 33 free agents. So we're not going to really know a lot about what the team is going to look like anyway. So we have to go a different direction with the QB. It wouldn't be catastrophic if we did it in 2020, when we're going to have to let a lot of these players go anyway. And the team is already going to look a lot different. Now, there's some notable names on this list. There's notable names on this list that we've come to know and love. We've come to know and love. Some of them I've already mentioned, some of them I haven't. One of them is Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith is due a new contract. Mark Cooper's due a new contract. We've gotten Anthony Brown due a new contract. I'm just not going to sit here and read the whole list to you, but we've got some notable names here. At least we've got at least 10 players. That's played somewhere around 50% or more of the snaps. I'm sorry, about 45% more of the snaps. About 10 players has done that. If you look at the list, so these guys are contributing These guys are contributing quite a bit, and we have to decide whether or not we want to bring them back to the table. Now we got Robert Quinn on the 1 year rental. Um, we have to see what he got. Whether or not we want to pay Robert Quinn, we'll know. We'll know soon enough when the season kick off. A couple of games after a couple of games, Robert Quinn got some situations that he had to deal with. He's under suspension. And after a couple of games, he'll get in there. We'll know what he's got and bring it to the table. Antoine Barbecue Woods had a nice uh, year. Had a nice year with us, but the reality of it is, it was just 1 year. We don't really know what we're getting out of Anton Barbecue Woods. All signs point to him being a pretty decent player. Did well for us last year, filled in some spot, played nice at the D tackle spot. But how much we want to pay him still remains to be seen. I think he's going to have to prove his value this year. I mean, but he can't outvalue him. He can't go up too much. His value can't be too much. We might have to just let him go. That's just the reality of the situation. I'm looking at this thing here, and it'll be interesting to see who we let go, who we let go, and who we keep. Tavon Austin, and his dual contract. Sean Lee probably end up retiring. At least he should probably strongly consider retiring. I'd hate to say goodbye to our long snapper, LP Ladisor. LP Ladisor is the oldest guy on the team. 39 years old, almost 40 years old. At some point in time, though, I would suspect even as a long snapper, this guy would like to retire, at some point in time. Not calling for it. I like LP, but it probably some time, follow time is going to catch up with him, and he's going to go enjoy the next chapter of his life. So we have to it remains to be seen whether LP Ladisor is with us going in the next season or not at 40 years old. Just fun, just for fun. I'm gonna switch this over real quick on this over the cap. I sorted it by age. Just looking at it, you can see the oldest guys on our team, the youngest guys on our playing, and you got LP Ladisor at 39, and Jason Witten, and then Sean Lee, and Alfred Morris, and then you just go down, the list from there. But it's kind of interesting to see the top five guys on our team: LP Ladisor, and Witten, Sean Lee, Alfred Morris, and Brett Maher. The older guys on our team, they are senior citizens, and then everything else is a young squad. Probably 60, 70% of our, probably 60, 70, 80, probably 80% of our team, 85% of our team is under 30. We got strangely, we got a unique situation. We got a lot of young players, and with young players, comes a point in time where these guys are going to want their bread. They're gonna want their slice of the pie. They're gonna want their money. They're gonna want some change. Now, some of these guys, like Anthony Brown, $616,000. Of that, only $134,000 of it is guaranteed. He's gonna want a bigger check. Gonna need a bigger check to keep him around. Gonna need a bigger, and Probably going to need a bigger check to keep Malik Collins around. As far as one guy that we haven't really talked about much, is Jeff Heath. And what we're going to do with Jeff Heath. Jeff Heath is a quality, is a quality player. He's a quality player. In my mind, or in my opinion, he's an excellent special teams player. I think he would be I think he would be a good, solid second, a second safety. Me personally, I don't really like him as my number one starter because he struggles a little bit in coverage. From time to time, he'll blow a coverage on you and miss a tackle. He's got some but I like his fire. I like his fire. I like the way he plays. So he gives you 100% every snap, and you don't get that too many. And you don't get that too often. Where you get guys that's going all in 100%, going all in 100% of the time. So I like Heath, but it'll be interesting to see exactly what his value point is at this point in time, and whether or not the Cowboys decide to keep Jeff Heath, or let Jeff Heath go. That'll be an interesting decision as to how that works out. Cowboys uh, tried hard, and at least in my mind, to replace Heath. But at the end of the day, looks like he was, still a lot of training camp left, but it looks like Heath is going to be a survivor in all likelihood and end up being the starter again. Uh, oh well, you know, I'm just a fan. I'm only really paid to make these decisions. I got my own opinions about it, but that's all they are, is one fan's opinion. I'm Cowboys Broad. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it always. Like, share, subscribe. I could use the exposure. I'm Cowboys Broad. I'm out.